Hi, I'm Eric with Simply Elegant Home Cooking. Today I'm going to show you my recipe for beef bourguignon. This is a beef stew cooked with burgundy wine and vegetables. It has onions, carrots, and mushrooms, some fresh herbs. Really delicious dish. Takes a couple hours to make, but it's really not that hard. If you follow some simple steps, you'll be able to get a really hearty meal. Great for nice cold nights this time of year. So stick around and I'll show you how it's done. And for the beef stew, I'm going to be using about a 2.5 pound chuck roast. If you can find one that looks really marbled like this one, the dish will turn out great, but even cheap cuts of meats work well in this dish too. And what you want to do, you want to trim away any large pieces of fat, but don't get too carried away, and be sure to cut your chuck roast into large cubes. This is a rustic dish, and you want your cubes to look about like that. So while I prep the chuck roast, I've also been preheating a French oven, also known as a Dutch oven. What you want to do, you want to be sure to give this a good 15 minutes to come up to full temperature, and we're going to be frying that beef in some bacon fat. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add just a very small amount of oil to the pan, and I'm going to go in with about 4 strips of bacon that I have diced up. I think I got that a little too hot, so I'm going to turn the heat down, and we just want to let this crisp and produce some nice fat. The fat is going to render out of that bacon over the next few minutes. And that's what you're looking for. Just get it nice and crispy. And at this point, I'm going to remove it from the pan. And you'll notice there's a lot of fond. There's a lot of brown bits on the bottom of the pan with the oil. That's perfectly normal, and it's actually a good thing. This is going to help us get some great flavor into our beef. Okay, so in that same pan, we're going to sear up the meat cubes. Now I'm going to do this in 2 batches. It's very important not to overcrowd the pan because we want to sear the meat and not steam it. And you want to let this go for a few minutes on each side. I don't so much go by time as by looks. You want to check the bottom and look for some nice browning. We're almost there. All of that color is going to equal flavor. And I should also mention, before this went in, I did season it liberally with salt and pepper. So I'm going to give it just about another minute, and we're going to flip the beef. Okay, and this should be ready to flip. And that looks perfect, so we'll hit the other side as well for a couple of minutes. Okay, so that did take about 3 minutes aside, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to start pulling the pieces that look a little more cooked, and we're going to give some of these remaining pieces just a few more minutes to brown, but you just kind of eyeball it, pull them off when they look ready. And they just needed a little bit of extra time, so we're going to pull these 2. So we've browned the first half of our meat. Now we can go in with the other half. And it's just the same process. We're going to sear it for about 3 minutes per side, or until browned. Okay, and after a few minutes I'm going to check them. And again, that's what we're looking for, so you want to flip them as they brown. And one other way you can tell, usually once they're nice and brown, that's when they'll release easily from the bottom of the pan. If they stick, they're not ready to be flipped. So when they flip easily just like that, you know the timing is right. And we just need to let these go a few more minutes on the other side. Okay, so our other side looks good too. At this time, I'm going to pull the beef cubes out, and we're going to reserve these all on that plate with the other half of the meat. And now there is a ton of flavor in that oil, as well as the brown bits on the bottom of the pan. So this is perfect for cooking up some veggies that are going to go into the beef bourguignon. I'm going to go in with a large white onion that I've diced up, fairly big cubes there, big dice. And I'm going to add that in with about 6 carrots that I've roughly chopped up. And what you want to do, you want to get them in, give it all a big stir, just to evenly incorporate everything with that bacon fat and the beef drippings. So just stir that around a bit. This is on about medium heat. This French oven gets really, really hot and retains its heat well. You want to get that stirred in nicely. And you want to always season each element as you go. As you add something to the pan, you just want to add a little bit more black pepper. And some salt. And like I said, I peppered and salted the beef before I put it in the pan. But you want to get that in there and stir it around like so. And we're going to let these saute until they're softened up. Okay, and this is what you're looking for. You want to get some nice color and let it soften. Obviously, you don't have to worry about cooking the carrots and onions all the way through because these are going to slow cook in the beef stew. So at this point, I'm going to add in about 3 cloves of garlic that have been crushed up in a garlic press. I'm going to add in about 2 tablespoons of thyme leaves. I've stripped the leaves off the stem, fresh thyme, and I've chopped them up nice and fine. And then I'm going to go in with a couple tablespoons of tomato paste, probably about 3 or 4 tablespoons, get that in there. And then at this point, we want to be sure not to burn the garlic. So you want to get everything in there and just stir it. And we're going to let this cook for maybe about a minute or two before we deglaze the pan. So at this point, you just want to keep everything constantly moving. Okay, and I only let that go about a minute. You want to be very careful not to burn the garlic. We just want to take the raw taste out of the garlic. So at this point, I'm going to deglaze with 1 bottle of Burgundy wine. I'm using a Pinot Noir. I have this in these glass Pyrex measuring cups because I actually got a double bottle. So I measured out half of the bottle. And what you want to do, you want to cook with the full bottle, regular 750 milliliters, but it's also good to serve this with some of the same red wine that you cook with. So you want to be sure to use a wine that you can actually drink. You want to get that in there. I'm going to turn the heat up a little higher to medium high, just to help us deglaze the bottom of the pan and scrape away any of those bits at the bottom of the pan. Okay, and once that comes back up to a simmer, after adding in the red wine, giving it a few minutes, what you want to do, we want to take that beef, we've reserved it on this plate, and you want to carefully pour in all of those accumulated juices. There's a ton of flavor there. And we're going to add this meat back into the stew. And we are going to also add back in the bacon that we fried up. I reserved that as well. So we're just going to get that in, and we're going to give everything a big stir to incorporate it. And you'll notice at this point, we don't have enough liquid to cover the beef. So what I do, I use that full 750 milliliter bottle of wine. And then you want to top this off with beef stock. You want to be sure to use homemade beef stock because the quality is really, really good making homemade as opposed to what they sell in the stores. And this usually takes about 1 to 2 cups, but I really just go by, eyeballing it. You want to just pour in enough to barely submerge everything. You want to get the level of liquid, high enough to cover all the ingredients in the pot. And we're just going to let that come back up to a simmer. Okay, so the beef bourguignon has come back up to a simmer. At this point, we're ready to turn off the stovetop, and we're going to finish this in the oven. So I have an oven that I've preheated to 300 degrees Fahrenheit, and what you want to do, you want to put the lid on, just partially covering it, but you want to be sure to leave a crack, like I did right here, and we're going to put this into a 300 degree oven and let it cook for about 3 hours or until the meat is very, very tender. So I'm going to pop this in the oven, and we'll check back in a few hours. Okay, so our beef stew has been cooking in the oven for about 2.5 hours. At this point, we're going to start prepping some more of the ingredients. While that still cooks, you want to preheat a large skillet, and I'm going to go in with a couple tablespoons of butter, and we're going to add some sliced mushrooms to the pan. We're going to give that all a big stir to incorporate it while that butter melts. Into the pan, we're also going to add some pearl onions. Now I'm using red, but you could also use white pearl onions. You can buy these in the frozen section in a lot of grocery stores, but if you can find them fresh, they're even better. So we just want to get this in there and let that caramelize. And the reason that we're adding these to the skillet so late in the process, if we had cooked these all the way with the stew for the full several hours, it would have reduced them down too much. They would have been mushy by the time we went to serve the beef bourguignon. So we're going to let these cook down. So once you get your mushrooms and your pearl onions in there, everything is seasoned. Just give it a big stir to incorporate it all. And once these cook down in volume, we're going to add them to our French oven and let them finish in the stew. Check back in a few minutes. Okay, and after about 8 to 10 minutes, this is how they look. You can see they've cooked down a bit. Just going to stir that a little bit. I'm going to let them go for just a few more minutes, and then we'll add them to everything else. Okay, and at this point, the mushrooms and red pearl onions are looking perfect, so I'm going to turn off the heat. And we've been going now for close to 3 hours in the oven, so this is a perfect time to pull out the beef stew and see how everything looks. Okay, so this has been in the oven for hours, so be sure not to burn yourself. Use a pot holder when you take that lid off. And you can see this is looking really, really good. We still want it to thicken up a bit, but at this point it's ready to add those mushrooms and onions that we just cooked into the stew. Okay, so this is going to finish up on the stove top. I've turned the oven off, and now I'm just going to turn the heat on to about medium-low. And we're just going to simmer this for a little bit longer without the lid. Just be sure to stir in all those ingredients we just added to make sure it's all evenly incorporated. You can see this is thickened up quite a bit, but by taking this lid off, we're going to let it continue that process and get even thicker before it's time to serve. And one little extra tip to help thicken up the stew, I have about 2 tablespoons of butter and 3 tablespoons of flour. What you want to do is you just want to take your fork and kind of mash this up, incorporate these together. It would have helped if I cut the butter up ahead of time, but unfortunately I did not. So you just want to work this with a fork until you've mixed it up as evenly as you can. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we're going to mix this up and add it into the stew. And off camera, I just mixed the butter and flour up until it forms, a crumbly mixture about like this. At this point, we can add it to the stew. And once you get your butter-flour mixture in, just be sure to stir everything until it incorporates evenly into the sauce. And this is really going to thicken it up here. So now at this point, we're just going to let the beef bourguignon simmer for maybe about another 15 to 20 minutes. We just want to make sure all of those flavors blend together nicely, and this will cook out any of that raw taste from the flour. We're almost ready to have this dish come together. It's going to be good.